Disney seems to be quite strict when it comes to Bluey, censoring even the simplest of scenes. And in today's video, we're going to see some of the censored Bluey scenes. But before we begin, like the video and subscribe to our channel. Now, without any delay, let's dive right into the video. In the episode Bob Bilby, Buddy can be seen in the credits picking his nose and then putting his finger into his mouth at the end. But in the US version, Buddy putting his finger into the mouth was cut out, presumably because Disney thought it was too gross for the kids to watch. But this is kind of a weird censor because this is what kids normally do. Moving on, in the original version of the episode Barbecue, all the characters call peppers capsicums.
I like capsicums.
Because peppers are called capsicum pretty much all over the world, except US. So in the US version, it was changed to peppers.
I like pepper salad.
This change kind of makes sense because a lot of Americans don't know the word capsicum. In the episode Fruit Bat, Bluey slides on her belly across the wet bathroom floor of her house pretending to be a penguin. This scene was not censored in the US version, but was banned in the United Kingdom. Disney in the UK considered that the scene could encourage children to imitate Bluey's behavior and possibly end up getting hurt while sliding on the wet bathroom floor. Although fun, this game can indeed lead to accidents. In the episode Taxi, the Gila family is playing taxi, and Bluey is a driver who is going to take a fancy passenger and her little daughter, who happens to be Bingo and her doll. During the game, the imaginary taxi makes a lot of turns and maneuvers, making Bingo's daughter nauseous and about to vomit. Censorship of this episode only occurs in some countries. When dubbing the scene, Disney replaced the noise that Bingo makes to simulate the doll vomiting with a different noise, as if she were just growling or screaming. This is a subtle alteration that only appears in the audio change for some languages on Disney+. Now, this censor I'm about to show you guys doesn't make any sense. In the episode Chores, we see Bandit and Chili having a conversation. Bandit tries to show off his cool dance moves to Chili called the Beoop Walk, but ends up hurting his groin, which makes Chili laugh. When Bandit challenges Chili to do the dance, she spins and falls while trying to imitate her husband's steps. Despite being a bit out of shape, they seem to be having a lot of fun. For some reason, Disney cut this scene. Maybe they thought viewers might try to imitate Bandit's special spin and end up getting hurt. But to me, this censor makes no sense. Now, this censorship is even crazier. The ABC Kids channel originally aired the episode Mini Bluey, which shows Bluey and Bingo dressing up to scare their dad. Bingo puts on a large set of dentures and tapes her nose shut to look a little bit scary. But the Disney version of this episode simply cut the scene where Bluey tells Bingo that she looked crazy, and Bingo tells Bluey to follow her. The sisters seem to be enjoying the idea of scaring their dad, but it seems that Disney didn't like Bluey calling Bingo crazy and decided to delete the scene. Like, why was this censorship necessary? Crazy isn't even a bad word. Now, this might be the one of the few censorships that makes some sense. In the United Kingdom, an episode that had a scene deleted was Horsey Rides. Interestingly, it had no issues in other countries. In this episode, Muffin and her family visits Bluey's house. The controversy arises in the scene where Muffin shows her new sandals to her cousins. So far, everything seems pretty normal, right? The problem is that in Australia, they often call sandals thongs. In many countries, this word refers to a piece of intimate clothing. But in Australia, it refers to flip-flops or the sandals. That's quite unusual, isn't it? Surprisingly, in the United States, they kept the dialogue, but the United Kingdom decided to completely delete the scene. Wouldn't it have been easier to just change the name to sandals or flip-flops? Moving on, in the episode Chicken Rat, Bandit can be seen eating sauerkraut, and while eating it, he sneezes from sauerkraut. It seems like Bandit is allergic to it. But Disney couldn't digest this scene, and it was changed to him burping instead sneezing. But Disney still airs the original sneezing episode on TV. This change came because of someone filing a complaint saying the episode shows food allergies as harmless. This kind of makes sense, to be honest. But what doesn't make sense is the next censorship. In the episode Family Reunion, Bandit is accused of farting in Bluey's face while getting on the bed. Yes, you heard correctly, a fart. After that, the family's dining table is turned into a courtroom, and a trial begins in which Chili is the judge, Bandit is the accused, and Bluey and Bingo are the witnesses. But apparently Disney don't find farts funny, So they deleted the entire episode. Yes, you heard it correctly. Disney deleted an entire episode just because of some farts. In the episode Driving from Season 3 of Bluey, Bluey and Chili are playing. We know that Bluey is well known for simulating children's imagination and creativity. And in one scene of this episode, Bluey and Chili are talking, in quotes, with a stuffed cat named Agatha, who in Bluey's portrayal is an old and grumpy cat threatening to pee on the curtains if she doesn't get her almond milk soon. But it seems that this dialogue sounded very inappropriate to Disney, and they changed Agatha's threat from peeing on the curtains to scratching the curtains. In the episode, Daddy Put Down, Bingo asked Bandit the question, how does the baby get in the lady's belly?
How does the baby get in the lady's belly?
But for some reason in the US version, this scene was cut out completely due to Disney trying to remove any reference to pregnancy for some reason. This censor absolutely doesn't make sense to me because this scene just shows the curious nature of children. And on top of that, pregnancy is an important topic. In the episode Teasing, the healers are playing a fun game where they are teasing each other by saying the word ooga booga.
Booga booga.
But at some point, both versions were taken off Disney+. The episodes were changed on TV earrings to say Shooby-Doo instead.
Shooby-Doo.
This was changed because the words were deemed offensive to Indigenous Australians, which seems quite a valid reason for it. In the original version of the episode Trains, Bluey pretends to give Bandit a piece of poop as a ticket, and Bandit pretended to lick it.
It's a piece of poo!
But in the US version, the piece of poop was changed to a slug.
That's a slug!
This change is actually one I agree with since this is quite gross, even if it was all pretend. In the original version of the episode Army, Jack says, "There's something wrong with me."
Something wrong with me.
But in the US version, he instead says, "There's something going on with me."
There's something going on with me.
This change was probably made because of kids possibly thinking something is wrong with them. The episode Flat Pack was changed because of teasing. In this episode, Bluey and Bingo Care saying the word ooga booga. Again, Disney didn't like this and thought it was offensive. They decided to censor it. But this episode, however, was quickly added back to streaming platforms. In the US version of the episode Mr. Monkey Jocks, the dialogue Chili says to Bandit, "Come here, lover boy."
Come here, lover boy.
And for some odd reason, Disney didn't like this, and this was changed to "Come here, sweetheart."
Come here, sweetheart.
And in the same episode, the line, "He's gone crazy,"
He's gone crazy.
was changed to "He's gone bananas."
He's gone bananas.
So these were the censorship of Bluey. What do you think about these censorships? Let us know your thoughts in the comment below, and we'll see you all in the next video.